The kingdom is advancing, we will never take sides. We came to take over, there's no need to hide. We will occupy, we taking the city. Born at such a time, cause the Lord He is with me. I will proclaim and remain. Yes, I am a tither. God is coming through. The devil is a liar. Anointed by the Spirit, taking the marketplace. Rise up, son and daughter, and make the change. Head and not the tail. Tell me why you acting frail. We going bigger, thinking bigger at a massive scale. We put our hands to the plow, so we will prevail. Never fail those days of poverty. Yes, it's setting sail out of our lives. With God we are prosperous. The climate of this world, no, it doesn't bother us. From a different kingdom, they can't be hard on us. We will overcome, that's what God has promised us. Agents of change, be the change and make a change. We have power in the name to break the chains. By the blood and the tide, revokes the curse. A spoken word, open doors, no lack of thirst. We making history, unlocking the mysteries, calling forth what we see, and surely that is victory. Everywhere we tread, we will see His face. Modet taking over here and there in the marketplace. The kingdom is advancing, we will never take sides. We came to take over, there's no need to hide. We will occupy, we taking the city. Born at such a time, cause the Lord He is with me. I will proclaim and remain. Yes, I am a tither. God is coming through.
Awesome, here we go. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to this exclusive conversation that we've been having with some amazing authors. This is Dr. Titch, bringing you amazing writers, authors, thought leaders in our generation, people that have come together. 15 authors came together to give birth to a book called The Making of a Kingdom Millionaire. And this is under the program that we call Millionaires Connect. Millionaires gathering to connect, to empower one another, to take opportunities in the marketplace. And all these are kingdom people, born again, spirit-filled, connected to local churches, making an impact. And today we have an amazing trip. So we're flying all the way from Johannesburg to Windhoek, Namibia, to be joined in studio by none other than Deon Barnard, a great leader, voice, a thought leader, voice to our generation, a man of God, a man of wisdom, an author, a writer, prolific writer for that matter. He's written some of the most amazing articles that I've ever gotten to read. So I'm really excited to have him not only on the program today, but on Millionaires Connect and in the book project. So let's cross over to Windhoek, Namibia. Deon, welcome. What a joy to have you.
Good evening, Dr. Tish, and thank you for this awesome privilege to be on your platform. I always say, you cannot earn, or you cannot push yourself towards another person's platform. You have to be invited. So thank you for inviting us to this platform. Now, just a little bit about myself. I am Deon Fecundity Barnard. And throughout the course of this evening session, we'll just talk a little bit about fecundity and abundance and growth mindset. I am a child of God. I am a son of God and a servant to the nation and a servant to the church. I am married to one wife and loving it.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yes. That's one of the top priorities.
Yeah.
And then, Dr. Tish, I love traveling. I love tasting different people's cuisines throughout the nations. So I love having fun and adventurous. So just to give a short thing, there was one person when we were on missions in Botswana. Person says, it is always so difficult for me to take you on missions. Wherever you go, it is so difficult for me to take you on missions. So I said, no, why? And she says, you will eat anything that anybody gives you, whether it is worms, it doesn't matter. You will eat, you will drink anything that anybody gives you, just say, no, what is wrong with that? Says the problem with that is I am the one that has to pray that everything stays down.
No,
Well, sometimes
I'm looking forward to you coming to South Africa in October. I'll give you one or two Zimbabwean dishes so you can taste some great Zimbabwean food.
that's great.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit about me. I'm a leader. I am a wealth coach. I'm a life coach, and I'm also a frontline warrior. My name actually means, if you look at the word Deon, it actually means frontline warrior. So that's where the leader comes in.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a supernatural solutionist. So I try to look for solutions in every problem from every side. And
Yeah.
then I'm a lifetime student. So in my mind, it is just constantly this thing of studying, because even the word says, study to show yourself approved as a workmanship of God.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, indeed. And in interacting with you, I've definitely experienced all of that. The wisdom, the principles, your writing, your content, brilliant content, and of course, just the ability to find solutions and create ideas along the way. I think that's really these are some of the great traits that come from you. But anyway, let's get into the meat of this conversation. I'm looking forward to really digging deep, and our audience are really ready and excited. So welcome. Let us know where you're watching from all over the world. Millionaires Connect is in the United Emirates. It's in the United States. It's right across Africa, quite a number of countries in Africa. So we're really reaching out to a great audience, and I'm glad you are joining us today. Let us know where you're watching from as we make an impact. Thank you so much. Right. In this journey of the making of a millionaire, the discovery of one discovering their ability to be a kingdom millionaire, are there some practical steps? Are there some principles that are necessary or foundational in becoming a kingdom millionaire?
Absolutely. There are a few ones that I can pinpoint at this moment. The very first one is make sure that you have a vision. So always start with the end in mind. You start with the end in mind. So if your goal is having $1 million by the end of a year from now, that is your end goal. Now you look at, okay, 1 million in 12 months. What do I need to do in order to get back to a monthly goal or a quarterly goal? From the quarterly goal, you look at the monthly goal. From your monthly goal, you bring it back to what do I need to do in this week? From the weekly goal, you look at how many hours do you have effectively. So not only how many hours do I have, but how many hours do I effectively have in order to put into my business. You work out the hours, and then you also work out what do I need to do today that will get me closer to my 1 year goal. And then you break your steps down. What do I need to do in this hour that will get me closer to my day, that will get me closer to my week, that will get me closer to the year goal? So the first one is having a goal. And the second one is
Wait. Whoa. Okay, here's the wealth coach talking to us now. The wealth coach is going at 120. You went from 0 to 100 in a matter of seconds. You're a Ferrari, a Porsche, or something. Okay, I love that point. In your experience as a coach and dealing with people, how often do you find people that have clarity in terms of the end goal, or do many people struggle in having this end goal perspective? Is it normal? Are there many people that are like, okay, I got it going and I'm happy? Or is it really a major point that we need to emphasize?
That's definitely a point that you need to emphasize. And that is why with coaching, there's a difference between coaching and therapy. And there's a difference between coaching, life coaching, or wealth coaching and mentorship. So there's a few different aspects with regards to that. In my experience, what I've seen is you start with the end in mind, you write it down, and you have Dr. Tish always gives us assignments. So after every single session that we have, we make sure that we have client work and we celebrate milestones once the person has achieved a certain milestone, we celebrate it. Now that can be anything from I've opened up my bank account as a business, or I've registered my business, or I have got an extra 3 or 4 people that sign contracts. So you make it very practical. And one thing that I've seen is there's a difference between flowing in the Holy Spirit and tapping into the mind of Christ.
Okay.
Sometimes when you are flowing in the Holy Spirit, you experience the heart of the Father, you experience God, and that is what we need. But when it comes to business, we have the mind of Christ, so which means in other people they say center your mind or center your spirit. Just quiet yourself and say, Lord, I want to tap into the mind of Christ so that I can understand it has nothing to do with emotion. It is, and a lot of the things that we have been talking about is practical things. How do you practically advance the kingdom? So what I've seen with one of the clients, she sent me a message some time ago, and she wrote down all of her goals and her vision and the practical things that she wants to see. And a year afterwards, she sent me a message to say, now everything that I have put down on paper, I've actually living right now.
Amazing, amazing. The power of focus. Where there's no vision, the people perish. I like that. Okay, give us a couple more of those nuggets or principles, practical steps. Go back to your 120 speed. Just give us real fast because I want to get to talk about one of your chapters, which I think is really, really quite intriguing.
Yes. The second one is create a strategic plan that outlines your goals and the steps that is needed to reach it.
Okay.
Now, if you look at where have you been 5 years ago? Okay, that is write down the age where you are right now, write down the age where you are 5 years backwards. What was the age of your children, etc. And looking 5 years ahead, if you don't do changes in your vision, in your mindset, and in everything, you will get to 5 years, God willing, you will get to 5 years down the line. But will you be on the same level? Because if you are doing the same things that you are doing today, you will still be doing the same things 5 years from now.
And that's where many people are stuck. It's kind of a rut. You're hoping by some miracle or angelic visit or something would happen, and then somehow my life has changed. But it doesn't happen without you applying your mind to a vision, without you applying your thoughts, without you putting a strategy together. I like that. What's number 3?
Number 3 is invest in continuous learning.
Oh, yeah. Like, I like that one. Yeah, I'm listening.
Stay updated with the latest trends and also the knowledge in your field. There was a section in the book where I mentioned, and throughout this the last few nights that we have been together, and also from the 13 or 14 people that in lessons that is left, you will constantly, your listeners will constantly hear, get the book, buy the book, make sure that you get the book. Why are we emphasizing on it? We are not only emphasizing on get the book for sales, but we are developing NLP methods within the audience to say that, you know, I need to know what this book is all about. And also invest in continuous learning. You can have, in the book, I talk about being a generalist and a specialist. And the specialist, you are honing your 10,000 hours on one specific thing. So you have tunnel vision when it comes to one specific field or niche. But the second thing is you need to be able to talk about anything to anybody with general knowledge. Because a lot of people in church only focus on, you know, I need to worship God this way, I need to do the things this way. But once you start talking to them about frequencies and neurologistic programming or linguistic programming, their mind is like, I don't know what you are talking about. So you need to be able to fine tune and specialize in one thing, but be able to be general in your knowledge as well.
I like that.
And then the last thing
Uh-huh.
is you need to surround yourself with like-minded individuals, get a coach, and join Millionaires Connect.
I like that. Join Millionaires Connect. But you know, really, the Bible actually does warn us about bad company many times, right through Scripture. Many people make that mistake of hanging around people that are not like-minded. And they're wondering, why am I not succeeding? Why am I broke? Why am I struggling in my marriage? Why are my relationships failing? Why am I always in trouble? Well, just look at your inner circle, and that really is a powerful point. But in the book, you talked about the time dollar factor, and I think you kind of started touching on it a little bit in your first point on setting your goal. Let's have a little conversation on the book here to say what's the ethos, what's the principle behind the time dollar factor? Because there's many people that have this desire. I want to be a millionaire. I want to break my barrier financially. I want to be economically free. I really want to do better. I'm tired of having to live hand to mouth. I'm tired of being in debt all the time. I'm tired of having to cut certain calls on my phone because I know it's the debt collectors or it's one of those nasty bank calls that's coming through. People in their mind have the desire, but they don't understand certain principles. And when I read the time dollar factor, brilliant chapter, by the way, brilliant writing. And I like the way you structured it so that it's actually very practical and applicable. You can go back to the key points to certain things and check yourself. So you did a brilliant job with that chapter. But introduce us just as a teaser so that people will say, I think I gotta buy this book.
If you look at, I've already started touching on it. And you look at your year goal, you look at your month goal, you look at your weekly goal, you look at your hourly goal. What do I need to do in this hour to get me closer to my year goal? And the time dollar factor is anything that you are doing that is less valuable than your time, you outsource or you strategically delegate it. I like the fact that you delegate it. You don't give away your authority because it's delegated authority. But you are still responsible for the KPIs, the key performance indicators for that specific person. Now, it can be for a millionaire, and it can be for a person that is a housewife. Let's say I am a housewife or a person staying at home I know my dollar value or my rand value is 200 rand an hour. If I know that, in a book, I explain how do you actually work it out. But if I know that, okay, for me to reach 500,000 with the amount of hours that I have, I work out about 240,000 rand, 240 rand per hour. If there's anything that is less valuable than that in terms of money, I use delegated.
Okay.
And the second part with regards to that is there's a scripture that says, you have set eternity in our hearts. So how valuable is your time? Because time is one of the key sources that God has given to us, limited resources. We can plan ahead for 5 years, but that doesn't mean that we will be here in 5 years. So that is why you have that mentality of, Lord, set eternity in my heart. And even Ephesians also says, know the times of God, because the days are evil. And yes, that is just a very short introduction. The rest is, you need to get the book, because you need to be able to understand, how do I work it out? How do I work out? And the last thing with regards to that, there's a difference between your time value and your intrinsic value. Your intrinsic value is, you are made in the image of God. I am made in the image of my Father. I am operating in the image of my Father. That doesn't mean if I earn 200 rand an hour, I am less valuable than a doctor or a specialist that earns 20,000 rand an hour. It just means the skills are different, but that doesn't make me less valuable, because my time dollar is less.
I love that. I love that comparison, because definitely a lot of people will start feeling like, okay, is this what my real value is? And I love the way you've compared the dollar value in terms of what I'm doing and my skills and my intrinsic value. What that brings out is a new conversation to say, if I am aware that my time and my skill value is 200 rand an hour, and there's somebody else with an hour that is worth 20,000 rand. I like dollars. Let's go back to dollars.
Yes.
I want to be my focus is millionaire status in dollars. Okay.
Yes.
So my hour is worth $200, but there's somebody else whose hour is worth $20,000. So it then provokes the conversation in my mind to say, what can I do to increase my value, my hour, so that I can move from $200 to $300 to $400 to $500 and eventually to $1,000. So I'm beginning to work myself to becoming a millionaire, because I'm increasing the value or the exchange value of my hour. You know, I had the privilege of traveling and being mentored by Dr. Miles Monroe before he went home to be with the Lord. And he brought out a very interesting truth in the book of Psalm, I think 90, verse 12, which says, teach us to number our days, that we may apply our hearts to wisdom. Teach us to number our days, that we may apply our hearts to wisdom. And I think really the time dollar factor is bringing us back to this principle, to say many people have not numbered their days, to say, I'm going to live 365 days this year. What am I going to do with those years, those days? I'm going to live until I'm 90, until I'm 100, until I'm 120. What am I going to do to extract the equivalent value in dollar terms that I need to live the quality of life that I need to live? So many people don't understand that if I don't number my days, and apply my heart to wisdom, I limit my ability to extract greater value. And I think you really bring that out in a very practical way in the book.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, awesome. But let's go to one more little quick conversation here. The vision factor. When I talk about Deon, the vision factor, what is it that you see happening and unfolding from the book, The Making of a Kingdom Millionaire? What's your vision? What's your heart? Do you think we can make a difference? Do you think we can actually raise people to be millionaires? Do you think we can impact lives and make a positive difference in such a way that their quality of life can be changed? We want to close by just having this vision conversation. Let's hear Deon's heart regarding this matter.
This is my heart with regarding I see an African continent and a prophetic mandate that has been placed in our generation and in the generations to come. We need to be able to, if you look at the Jews and the Muslims stand together and have a multiple generational mindset when it comes to business.
Yeah.
So can you see an Africa that is absolutely transformed, an Africa that is, I always say, Dr. Tish, if you look at so many people have come and evangelized. So wide in terms of evangelism, but shallow in terms of discipleship.
Wow.
And so many people get born again over and over and over again, but there's not depth into what does it mean to be a millionaire in the kingdom? What does it mean to express your passion? What does it mean to live out what God has called you to do? How do I extract the value that is inside of you? And that is what I see with the book, that it will assist people to extract the value that is already inside of them. Some people already they are singers. They just don't know that inside of them there's gifts. So some people are still stuck in the old mindset of, I need a prophetic word. I'm not sure whether, obviously you have been traveling around the nations. There's a term that I call prophetic junkies.
True.
And what a lot of people don't realize is every time that you get a prophetic word, your responsibility increases. Because you have to take that prophetic word, you have to work with the word. So
Yeah.
you have to put action to the prophetic word. And even Paul says, take that word and do a good warfare with it. So when you feel like you get a word today, or you read the book today and there's mighty revelations that comes through, what then happens is, okay, it's a good book, we put it on the shelf. But
Yeah.
it is people that have labored, people that have taken their knowledge, their skills, time and Holy Spirit, and put it down on paper. So I encourage the readers that once you get the book, do it with an open mind. And what I see is a transformation of body, soul, mind, emotions, finances, relationships, and everything that entails about it. Because you might be reading the book and seeing the cover, the making of a kingdom millionaire, and you think like, maybe I'm not called as a millionaire. So there are belief systems that the book also breaks down.
Yeah, yeah. Powerful. I love that. I love that. And I also love the fact that you're bringing in that inclusivity to say anybody can pick up the book, anybody can apply the principles and actually begin to change their life, not just their economic or financial factor, relationships, health, peace, focus, productivity, etc. And I totally agree. Having gone through as a publisher, and I'm honored to be publishing this book, but as a publisher, I've had to go through the book again several times before we sent it to the editors for the final work to be done. But the experience I've had is really hair-raising. It's goosebumps. It's like, wow, the people are loaded. These are people on a journey to actualizing themselves as millionaires, discovering the gift, their entrepreneurial gifting and calling. And all of them are entrepreneurs. All of them are functioning in the marketplace. All of them are running functional businesses. All of them are on this growth journey. On one of your points that you raised up, be on a journey constantly to grow. So any reader can pick up the book, begin to read the book, begin to apply the book. And it's not one of those, like you said, don't put it on the bookshelf. Keep it close, keep it on your bedside, keep it in your briefcase, in your handbag, carry it around, sit somewhere, read a chapter, read a section, apply, think on it, meditate on it, make changes, get yourself into a study group, a millionaire study group, a millionaires connect study group, and just begin to discuss, hold yourself accountable to the people around you. And that becomes the exciting journey. But yeah, wow, your closing remarks. We're having too much fun here. We've gone over time, but it's been happening with all the interviews. We've been having so much fun. What are your closing remarks to the audience as we close off?
Dr. Tish, my closing remarks is two things. The first one is just say thank you once again. It's an honor. And have you ever heard when people ask you, who do you think you are?
Yeah.
Now, when in the book we talk about NLP and affirmations and declarations and everything. So the next time anybody asks you, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are in terms of speaking to me about business? Then you can tell the person, I am 1000% laser focused on my time dollar factor. I am a kingdom millionaire. I am sowing millions into the kingdom. I am a child of God. I am stepping into my millionaire status. And I am a supernatural solutionist. That is who Deon Fecundity Barnard is.
Wow. Brilliant. Thank you so much. I love that. But you made us a promise at the beginning when you gave us your name, Deon Fecundity Barnard. You promised to define fecundity. You didn't tell us what fecundity means. So the audience are probably wondering now, what is fecundity? Is it a strange Hebrew word? What does that mean? So 30 seconds. What is fecundity? You put it in your name there, so we want to know what it means.
Fecundity is the ability to have a growth mindset, the ability to put one problem and you have 20 solutions to it. You get one problem and you look at it from all different angles and you use 8 different questions. Who did what, to whom, when, where, why, how, and what are the results of if I solve this problem, what are the results that it will have? Yesterday we talked about, or the previous time we talked about customers centricity. So what are the solutions that I can bring to a customer? And fecundity is exponential growth. So in terms of if you're a solutionist, you don't only get 2 or 3 answers to a specific problem. You get 30 answers, you get 40 answers.
Powerful. So from now on, I'm Dr. Tich Tanyaniwa, fecundity solutionist, problem solver Tanyaniwa. Just upgraded my life right there.
It's a long business card.
It's a whole book on a business card right there. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining in tonight. We've been in Johannesburg, South Africa, and in Windhoek, Namibia, with Deon Fecundity Barnard. one of the 15 authors of The Making of a Kingdom Millionaire, a book that you need to get not just on your bookshelf, but in your heart, in your mind, in your lifestyle. It will change your life. Thank you so much for joining in. Tomorrow, we have another awesome author, an exclusive interview with Dr. Titch, and we're going to continue to have fun. Thank you so much for joining us. God bless you.
Hands to the plow, so we will prevail. Never fail those days of poverty. Yes, it's setting sail out of our lives. With God we are prosperous. The climate of this world, no, it doesn't bother us. From a different kingdom, they can't be hard on us. We will overcome, that's what God has promised us. Agents of change, be the change and make a change. We have power in a name to break the chains. By the blood and the tide revokes the curse. A spoken word, open doors, no lack of thirst. We're making history, unlocking the mysteries, calling forth what we see, and surely that is victory. Everywhere we tread, we will see His face. Modec taking over here and there in the marketplace. The kingdom is advancing, we will never take side. We came to take over, there's no need to hide. We will occupy, we taking the city. Born at such a